inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Tape my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Be faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Counting like the four-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Steph. How are you?
Good. How are you? How are you?
I am good. I have no idea. I was trying to Google during this time I knew this X-Men 97 guy was fired, right? But apparently it looks like it may have been because of OnlyFans. And I don't understand where this information is coming from because I can't find it besides on videos. Apparently they're describing him as the sexy gay Marvel writer and showrunner to know, but then he gets fired. Okay, all right, we're gonna look more into this.
I found some stuff.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's so random though, because honestly, OnlyFans doesn't have to be a sexual thing. OnlyFans wasn't started like that, you know. OnlyFans was started like kind of like a Patreon or, you know, memberships and stuff. It wasn't just overtly like, oh, I'm going to take my clothes off, you know. So
I remember early when that started to be a thing. It was like even comic channels were using it to give like exclusive content and stuff like that if they didn't have memberships. And but like I I don't know. We'll look into it. Good morning, Robert. Thank you so much. Did you get the screenshot I sent of the Pokemon lawyer lashing out? I did. I was confused. But that doesn't take much. It's basically like someone that worked for Nintendo doesn't want bigots as fans, okay? Right. Okay.
Wait.
It's really weird. No, it's like not really the gist of it, but in kind of like a very like small way it is like all these people are complaining about diversity and we are the ones that are trying to get rid of you. I don't know. It's wild. I hope you caught up on comic reading right now. While you were sick. Yes, but we will be covering comics next week. I gotta get caught back up. I was looking at my books last night, and I am just so far behind. It's ridiculous. Like I didn't even know that the new Suicide Squad book was out. Apparently now there's 2 of them out. Like okay, all right, I guess. And then there was some Batmite shit I had no idea was even releasing. It was just I missed so much.
Yeah, that's
thoughts?
what's gonna happen though.
Right? Like I just I don't like when I was playing like when I could have taken time to read or I could have played video games. I mean, that's kind of what I did. But I am now a Resident Evil believer. I did tell you this.
Yes. Yes. And I was like, that's the one I wanted you to try out.
It was so good stuff. It was so good.
I've watched it and I haven't played it, but it's the only Resident Evil game that I've been like, yeah, I need that in my life.
Oh my God. And then the DLC for it was like so sweet and wholesome and fatherly and lovey and like the things I did not expect, feelings I didn't expect to get from a Resident Evil game.
Village.
Like I knew Mrs. D was hot, right? Like I knew that and like her daughters and shit. But like the fatherly story is incredible. Like that was really the kicker for me. It was really good.
That one plays off of 7. I honestly wouldn't recommend 7 only because for me, it's very scary. Again, I watch these games because I don't have much of a need for Resident Evil, but Village was the only one that I was like, oh my gosh, it's like, the story with, who is it? Ethan? His story, the daughter, everything like that, then the family, and then it gets so goofy. Like it's like this wide range of emotions in that game.
It is too, because you go from like, oh my God, that's so sweet. Look how he's treating his wife and he just wants to be there for his daughter too. Oh my God, is that a doll? Am I gonna have to deal with mannequins again? And then it's like straight up right back to horror and gross and like weird steampunky shit all in one, and it shouldn't work, but it did work.
Right. It's pretty great. It's brilliantly out there.
And one thing that they did that I really enjoyed was like you said, it plays off of 7. Well, they did a recap. Like, and I was able to understand at least enough.
That's good. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, and I love when games do that because like you shouldn't have to. I know it's like 8 or whatever, but like you shouldn't have to play the other ones before if you get a little recap. I'm loving it. I think it was really well done. Now I want to go back and it actually makes me interested in going back to like Biohazard and stuff and learning about Evelyn, and I think her name was Evelyn. There's a lot like they use little girls as just a horror mechanism in these games, like, and it works.
That's why I thought I think it was BioShock you started playing, and I never played the first ones. I played Infinite, and I know a lot of people love Infinite, but not a lot of people. But some of the real hardcore fans love just like the presentation and the atmosphere of the first one. But the first one is on the harder side. And if you ever go back and try BioShock, I would say you should try Infinite. I think you'd love it. I really do.
See, I wasn't. I remember liking it a bit, and then I went back to it, and I was like, okay. But yeah, like
Infinite's atmosphere is different. It's not as hard. It's got the emotion. It's got so much.
Thoughts on DC Pride stuff? Yeah, was there an announcement? See, behind. I guess there was an announcement on D. Oh wait, you know what? I did see something. I think I seen Al Ewing or somebody's joining for DC Pride. We'll take a look at it. Can I join next time around? I just said we were doing comics. I just said it, Robert. Listen, I know it was before. I
also like your new thumbnail thing.
Old. I'm just able to use it now. I'll tell you that story later. But thank you.
Oh, I love it.
Oh goodness. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Some stuff I didn't get to yesterday. I wanted to make sure we did. And then I want to talk. So there's this idea, like it's something I've talked about on my channel for a long time. I've had long conversations about this woke and anti-woke, and a lot of it I think boiled down to a really good video we're gonna take a look at. And it was like the idea of media literacy, right? Like some of us are just media illiterate, and I think that like stunts a lot of us in these conversations of like nerd topics, so to speak, culture war topics.
Yeah.
Robert said if you like Village, you like 4. Is 4 Biohazard? I don't know. Let me Google it.
No, I think 4 was the one people hated so much and now like it.
Wait, 4 just came out with a remake, right?
Yeah, and I thought 4 was the one where, I could be wrong, could be 5. I don't know. It's so many freaking games. But 4, I believe, is the one with there's you go through different like playthroughs. Like it's like shorter chapters with different characters, and they introduce new ones. Could be wrong about that. And people always loved 4. Okay. So then that's not the one I'm thinking. I might be thinking of 5.
It looks like the newer one, and it looks like they just announced that it sold 7 million units of that new remake. So, and I know it was up for Game of the Year, because I was surprised that a remake was up for Game of the Year, but oh
wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, and it's got Leon in it. So I do remember whichever one I played on stream, and I don't remember which one that was the one I remember playing at a younger age and going through the police precinct and all of that stuff. So I'd be very curious. I was shocked at how good it was. I was not a long game, but definitely a very, very interesting and very so it was funny because Gary put a comment on one of my community posts when I said, hey, been out, give me some ideas. What did I miss? And like talking about how he's noticed like I like a lot more grounded stuff and da. So I'm looking at Resident Evil and I'm like, I'm not gonna like this, right? This is out there. No, it was fun. It was a lot, but it was fun. And I absolutely hate mannequins and dolls, and oh my God, terrifying.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan either. And I think we are similar in our games. You need to play Red Dead for real. You'll love that shit. But it's so much fun. I'm just getting emotion thinking about it. It's such a great game. It is grounded. It is all that, but we can love dumb, silly things because Devil May Cry never takes itself seriously. Like that's one of those games that I love. It's goofy. It's dumb. One of his freaking moves, one of his weapons is a hat, Dante. Like one of his weapons was a guitar. Like he used to like use the power of music. Like it's just so out there, and it works so well. even DMC Devil May Cry, the remake or the rebrand that people didn't really like. It was amazing. It was out there when it's very topical now, extremely topical with like political landscapes and like news taking over. You literally fight like a hologram of like a Fox News personality, basically.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
Something, it's amazing. That was really good too. I would recommend that. 5 is great because it's, it's not fan service, but it's definitely not changing much of the platform that is Devil May Cry. But
right,
the one that their rebrand of it, it's very topical now, and it's hilarious that people are going back to that and now loving it. And it's like it was always a great game. Like
right,
it was. And those games never take themselves seriously, and that's the best part about it. And Resident Evil and other games like that just have that. Dead Island was like that. It makes fun of itself in the best ways. Fallout was like that. I love that stuff. Like I love those grounded games that give me emotion, but I also like to do dumb things. Suicide Squad doesn't take itself seriously. It's so much fun for that.
It is. It is. And it's funny to see now, like, all the people that were hating on Suicide Squad being super silent about games like Skull and Bones, which is doing way worse. But,
I knew it was
my agenda. My agenda. Robert, thank you so much. A big problem was diving into RE2 remake off the bat. That one is overwhelming for first-time player. Yes. They kept saying you should have started with 0 or 1 remake, because it eases you into the horror. 2 remake you play after you get used to the series. And I think, and I know there's one that I'm like not willing to try yet. There's also the one where is it Nemesis? That's the big motherfucker. Oh my God. There's terrifying. Nemesis,
then there's X. So there's 2 like big guys, but yeah, Nemesis I think is the crazy one.
Yeah, and like I've seen a lot of it, and the main guy, it always cracks me up because he looks like the guy from like the Real Rejects channel, and he looks like just so funny, but like it also looks terrifying. It just looks, it's too much for me, at least to start off. But I mean, like, I feel like it was a good starting point. And like they did the Shadows of Rose, the DLC, and that was like so sweet. I am definitely impressed. Skull and Bones wasn't made with DC characters. DC characters aren't supposed to fail. They're not failing. Dumb motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding, Joseph. No, yeah, it's still, no game was made to fail, right?
Well, okay. Actually, Skull and Bones is definitely the exception to that rule because it's been going on for years. And I guess, okay, I'm probably wrong with the country. Someone will correct me in chat because they always do. Singapore, actually, it was a contractually obligated game, so I think they actually like gave up. I think that they did not care. They just
gave up.
They did. No! They didn't care if it failed because it was a contractually obligated thing, and it was in production since Black Flag, like right after Black Flag. So that tells you how long it's been. And
oh my goodness,
they have been wanting to pull out and they couldn't. Like, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. So I think they just didn't care after a while.
I mean, I get that. Also, there was a joke in there about pull out, but I missed it. I totally missed it.
There's always a joke coming out of my mouth.
Oh my God, right? Oh, that's so cool. Joe Corallo is going to be in. Oh, that's great. Okay, I did. We'll take a look at that. I emailed it to myself so it would be easier to look at in a little bit. But one thing I didn't get to yesterday that I really wanted to talk about. So you watched Sandman, right? You've never read the book.
No, I have not read the book, watched it.
What did you think? What did you think of, well, how was your Netflix Sandman experience?
It was amazing. I loved it.
Right?
I loved the aspect of it. Like, we actually, the reason we had resubscribed to Netflix was for Sandman.
That is awesome. See, I absolutely love the series. Sandman to me is like the ultimate comic, right? Like, it is everything you could possibly need in a story, all in one incredible fever dream of a book, right? Like, Sandman will forever be my favorite comic. It's just like Neil Gaiman is one of my favorite writers. He is incredibly, like, not just Sandman, but you've got American Gods and Good Omens, and just there's so much that he has done. He is
he
like
actually wrote a Norse mythology book.
American Gods?
No,
Wait.
like he wrote, Neil Gaiman is actually, I could be wrong about this, but I keep seeing this book at my friend's house.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I did forget about. I think there's issues coming out. I could be wrong about that, but I have seen it, and I haven't checked it out yet.
That's funny. I'll take a picture of it when I'm at work today, because I keep seeing it. I'm like, I know that's that Neil Gaiman because of what he's done, so it would make sense. And I love all those mythology books, like, because they're just retellings of stories, basically. And just like how everybody, like, the Bible's a retelling, Greek myths, and everybody has retold these stories. So I was just like, that is, like, I keep seeing that, and I'm like, I gotta freaking read that, because just he's a great writer. He really is. Everything I've loved, I'm never surprised to hear it was him that wrote it.
Right. And like, there are very few of those people that you're like, nearly everything you pick up from them is good, right? Like, Robert Kirkman to me is one. Neil Gaiman is one. Mark Millar used to be one, but he became a hack. But like, between Invincible, The Walking Dead, and Sandman, what really more could you need in your life? Like, maybe a good Batman book, I suppose. Gary says Resident Evil 2 remake, RE3 remake, RE4 remake are connected, but they're in their own timeline because they changed story points from the original RE7 and RE8 a part of. Okay, so that is one thing that confused me, because not Ethan. What was it? I forget the other guy's name. His last name was it Clive Rossfield? Something. I'm pretty sure he was related to Claire. And I know that I thought that's maybe how they were connected. But Chris, thank you.
Oh, Redfield.
Yeah.
And Daddy.
Yeah, like, right?
I was gonna say, we're talking about Daddy.
Right? Like, he was incredible, just like, and that was a good twist too. I didn't see it. But Chris, he is related to Claire, right? So there is some connection. I just don't know it yet.
Yeah. Like, oh God, these games. Unless I'm like in it, like Resident Evil's one. I've never been a Metal Gear Solid fan. But like the lore on these are always so much. It's like I know, not gonna, I can't think of his name right now, but the guy that does Metal Gear Solid, like the story with that.
Every time he did Kojima?
Yeah, Kojima. You good job. Hideo.
I tried. I said it real quick. Nobody would know it.
Now you know. But he, his lore, and like, I think he could do a good comic, to be honest. Like, he's got so many in his brain that, like, they would be good on paper. Because I honestly think he's hit a wall with his gaming. Sorry, someone will hate me in the comments for saying that.
Oh my God. No, you're not wrong. Death Stranding.
So if I wanted a walking simulator, bro, I can go outside. Like, I'm good. I already fall enough. I don't need a game of walking and falling. So
like, I had the interest because of obviously Kojima, but like, I also like Norman Reedus. I loved him I liked him in The Walking Dead. His character wasn't my favorite, but he's a great actor. And I'm like, okay, this is really cool. This weird baby thing. I'm super interested. And then you start playing it, and then you get way uninterested very quickly.
Very quickly. Very quick. I know there's hardcore fans for it. I know there is because
oh yeah,
obviously. But and that's why PT and the Silent Hills game was so devastating that it was never going to get made because Kojima is it Konami? He split from the company, all that crazy stuff. And Silent Hills was supposed to have Norman Reedus in it.
I mean, that's kind of cool though.
Right. And that's why and I mean 10 years after, PT was a playable teaser. It was just a teaser of a game, and it was a couple hours long, and people loved it so much that they data mined it like you've never seen, and one guy found out that the enemy is constantly following you, like the kind of AI aspects to it. Like it's a rabbit hole all on its own, and it is sad that it never came to fruition because Death Stranding sucked. I like Norman Reedus too. I like him a lot as an actor, and I think he would have been much better placed in a Silent Hills game.
I think he would also be really well placed in a oh my god, what's his name? Fire guy, motorcycle.
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider. There we go.
I would love to see him or even Keanu. Any writer has my bid for that.
That would be very cool. Michael says gaming has gone woke though. Oh, this is the segment for you, Michael. This is the segment for you because I'm super stoked about season 2. Like, it seemed like last year all the shows I wanted to be, or last couple years, all the shows I wanted to be really good, like Why the Last Man and Jupiter's Legacy, they were just all ended up being like flaps. But this one actually was really, really good. And like, there was controversy around Death skin color changing, which it does in the comic, but not in the same way they explained it, right? Like, she takes the form, and they don't explain this in the show, but like Death and the people in the Endless will take the form of what you're most comfortable with. So if you're a white chick, imagine, that's how she's gonna show up. Or they did have, I believe it was Nadu, a little bit in there. And when they're in hell, when they're going to see Lucifer, you see the black girl imprisoned.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's, and you see Dream, Morpheus, turn black for a minute. And that's because that's how, other people see them. So it wasn't necessarily like a race swap, but it was just a difference, playing in the world that you created and changing the rules a little bit. But
so Death would be a cat. If I was in this universe, Death would be a cat for me.
Yeah,
could be anything.
I mean, technically they come as people, but if you're most comfortable with cats, fuck it. Yeah, Death can be your cat. Not all the time. I'm just saying.
But that's just how I like. Yeah. So it's like a shape-shifting thing, and
yes, exactly.
And people get mad when all of a sudden they think it's woke.
Right, and here's the thing that people need. Like I've said this for years. It's not going to change, and it'll lead into our main topic. But Sandman was always woke. Like, I hate to break it to you guys, but Sandman was made in the 90s, and it is woke by today's standards. It is super woke by today's standards. Like, right now, if this book came out, people would be dunking the fuck on it. But because we didn't have that cultural zeitgeist that we had then, these issues were able to come out and people were able to enjoy them for what they were without that, like, mob mentality of, oh my god, there's a trans character, we got to get rid of this book, or oh my god, there's that. See what I'm saying? Like, there definitely was. Did I see your super chat? Did I miss a super chat? Let me look. Oh, yes, I did miss it. Okay. But it definitely came out at a time where it made sense. Did I see Grant Morrison shut up the Snyder Cult? I did not, but I'm always interested in the Snyder Cult shutting up. I'm just saying.
He said he emailed you the tweets.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, thank you, Robert. Hell yeah. But this is actually more information as to what we're getting. So did you watch those like so it came out all together and then they had like a month later they had a couple bonus episodes. Did you see those ones by chance? The cat one and Calliope?
No, I don't know if I did. Calliope. I love that name.
I know, it's such a good name.
There's a woman at the tax place. She was new last year, and I only remember her because her name is, she says Calliope, but it's Calliope with a K, and I just I fall in love with that name every time.
It's so pretty. Wait, how does she say it?
Calliope. I'm like,
Calliope.
Yeah, she's like, I guess that's, well, you know how there's Heracles and Hercules?
Yes, yeah.
Kind of along those lines.
I love it. I love it. I love the name Calliope. Calliope's story is fucked up. She's amused that when these guys fuck her, that's how they get their story. And when they rape her. Yeah. It's a fucked up story.
It is. But Medusa, that's like one of the, I love Greek mythology, but it is it's terrible, man. It's terrible. Hades is my favorite. I'm sorry. Hades is my favorite. Literally, like, my favorite, because Zeus is the worst god in the whole wide universe.
Yeah, Zeus is terrible. Where the fuck did you email this, Robert? I don't even see it. Unless it just hasn't came through yet. So we got more news as to like where they're going with this, right? They introduced Lucifer, they introduced Azazel briefly, and they're going to be, I think, skipping one. It looks like they might be skipping one arc. They're going to this story. I think it's a Game of You. And I don't want to, I should know these all by heart because I do know these all by heart, but I'm pretty sure it's a Game of You. Neil Gaiman said it's been a fantastic going back, actually, because this season's, I think fans will be very excited for the episode. It feels like this show is a two-way street. It's not just us putting something out. It's Neil listening, responding to the fans, and then in turn giving them the things they ask for, yelling for, begging for. So I think fans are going to be really excited to see these stories expanded and have complexities in a family and all of those dynamics. So remember Barbie? Barbie is going to end up being a big deal.
Yeah.
Now, what the fuck? Is it the game? Yes. Okay. Thank you. I knew it was a Game of You. All right. Game of You basically is this, right? So Barbie is still having these fantastical dreams. And she has moved. Rose is not really in the picture. Ken is gone, right? She's living with Donna Foxglove, and I can't remember everybody's name. And she is living with someone named George and Thessaly. Thessaly is one of my favorite Sandman characters because she's like an old witch. She's really fucking cool. But she's also living. Now, mind you, we're talking about the 90s with a character called Wanda.
Yeah.
Wanda's dead name is Alvin Mann.
Okay. And this is the 90s.
Yeah. But you know what? This was never woke, right?
No. It's
so a lot of this story that they're gonna explore, not a lot, but a decent amount. Like Barbie's the main character, but Wanda is definitely secondary to that, right? Like, so we're gonna see a lot of identity stuff. We're gonna see a lot of Wanda coming, and understanding what it's like to be a trans woman. I think they're in New York at this point. We're going to see like her family is fucking terrible. Her family is terrible. Like they always say, Wanda's not Wanda, but Alvin is a God-fearing man and put him in a suit and da 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 da. Like, this is what is going to happen in season 2. These are like, I'm trying not to give too much away about what happens. There's a lot of fun stuff in the dream world, so it's going to be like really cool stuff with some voice acting that's going to be done. You've got like a toucan and a giant rat. Like, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fucking weird. But it's also going to start those conversations that says Neil Gaiman's gone woke.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Again, literacy.
Media literacy. Exactly, because
5 minutes of research. Not even.
That's literally all it takes. We've got the main characters in this besides Barbie is a lesbian couple that have and go through conversations about abortion. Yeah, it sounds weird, but they do. There is stuff about being trans and that identity. There's homeless, different stuff about being homeless in New York and what that means to be treated, how that means to be treated during, storms and stuff like that. Like, there is a lot in this that is going to be quote unquote woke, right? Like, and I'm here for it because this is the difference. Like, this is
it's discourse.
Exactly. But the thing is these stories should be able to be told and heard to a degree. Because I feel like the cultural landscape that we live in right now just completely censors everything, right? Like,
yeah.
You can't tell stories right now.
No.
And at this was Vertigo, right? So DC. Like, there's one character I can think of that's trans that maybe gets a little bit of limelight, and that's that. Oh, she started on, her name's Dreamer. She started on like the CW show. She kind of made her crossover into the comics. Yep. But other than that, you don't get a lot of like real trans identity stories. So I'm very curious how they're gonna do this.
Yeah. It's gonna, for sure get backlash.
The Devil's Advocate has best Satan ever. He is very manipulative, not scary, and he tries to get Keanu to leave his wife the Devil's the movie, okay. Yeah. Charlize Theron to do his hot redhead sister, which I don't blame him. Hot damn. Wait. The devil wants Keanu to sleep with his sister. What? Yes.
She's
kind of country ass Kentucky shit are we talking about here?
Well, he's Satan, and so his sister could be, a demon, basically. I forget in The Devil's Advocate, but it is a great depiction of Satan.
I have no idea. I'm just kidding, but it sounds interesting though.
It is,
it's got Keanu and Charlize. Yeah. I've liked her ever since Monster. Remember that movie? That was good.
Never saw it.
What?
I know I never saw that, and I know it was like everybody loved that movie. I know about everything that encompasses that movie, the actual story of that woman, but I never saw that with Charlize Theron. But I like her nonetheless. She's really great.
I do. I like her. I thought like that was the first movie I think I ever saw her in, and I was like, wow, this girl like This is the same. Like, I was young and I was like, whoa, like these side by sides they're not adding up, but okay, it works. Define woke. So, like, this is the thing, right? If any of what is in Neil Gaiman's series were to come out right now, it would be called woke. Corinthian being a openly queer man and bit of a fucking, I mean, he's a nightmare. He's also a pedo. Like, but they kind of retconned that a little bit. Having trans characters in general, having progressive values in general, having open lesbian couples talking about abortion, I would say that all falls under woke, right? Like,
yeah, just the landscape of what is quote unquote woke now. But it's
all woke stuff.
It is. I know. To me, woke will always be one thing, and it's, oh my god, hold on. It will always be more on the lines of you're just opening your eyes to what's actually around you,
and that's what it's supposed to be, right? But it wasn't.
Give me 1 second.
Go ahead. No, but she's absolutely right. That's what it was supposed to be, but it was more kind of co-opted with a more nefarious purposes, right? Like, it's not used in a positive sense anymore. It's just not. All right, let's see what Cartoon and Comics says. Political activists, untalented bad writers, for a plastic progressive, for ESG scores, that's woke. That's woke is not even progressive. Woke is stupid. So woke is just anything you don't like, right? Like, this is what I don't understand. What you were saying is so, like, there's like 7 of those people and they're all on Twitter. So I don't know. Yeah, that's basically Daily Wire. It's 2 sides of the same coin. But I love Sandman. I'm super excited. They also have really cool. I know you listen to a lot of like the Spotify and stuff like that. They also have really cool audibles of the Sandman that are fully cast. Like, they have really good voice acting in them. It's not like your generic ass shit. It's really good. Like, the guy that plays young Magneto, not Magneto, young Xavier. He's the voice of Morpheus.
McAvoy.
Really? Yes, that's his name. He's the voice of Morpheus. And it's really, really good.
Confusing. Sorry. Always have to put a Deadpool reference in there.
I love it.
Timelines are
now
so
that
confusing.
we can agree.
I was watching that last night.
That's so funny.
Again, I watched that a lot.
Cartoon and Comics, because Sandman is not woke. It's progressive. It's a good, it's 100% woke. But I get it. Like, I get it. Everyone's got their own definition of these things, and everyone's got their own interpretation. That's what makes these conversations so hard to have anyway. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it is. Like, if there's one book we can call woke, it's Sandman. But
we get into the X-Men discourse.
Oh my god! Wait, what? Wait.
Well,
X-Men discourse? No.
Oh, nice! You're the best. This is gonna be great.
I don't understand what caused this. So it looks like it's set to premiere very, very soon, March 20th. Whoa! So a week.
Yeah, I think that's what they were saying. He was fired a week before the premiere.
Okay, it says social media had proven a challenge while making this series. They got accused of whitewashing Sunspot. But none of this none of this really gives us answers as to, like, I don't want openly gay X-Men writer. I'm not sure why that's the headline. Who defended Henry Cavill's stance on The Witcher was allegedly fired for the most absurd reason. Okay, here we go. It looks like growing up in a black family. Why? Okay, he defended Henry Cavill. Cool. I'm always here for that.
I know they were trying to trash on him. I didn't like it.
Okay, and his Instagram page, because I do know he shut down all his social media. DeMaio answered a lot of fan questions concerning the X-Men. It looks like his OnlyFans account has also been deleted. So he had an OnlyFans.
That's what it looks like.
Wait, I thought you didn't get fired for, like, because this is what I've been told, right? You don't actually get fired for progressive things. I feel like that's like being sex positive is relatively progressive. Oh, weird. Robert said apparently he was abusive while working on The Witcher. That might make a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
I feel like this OnlyFans thing's may be a bit of a scapegoat.
I was gonna say it's definitely like a smokescreen. It seems like,
yeah,
because all the things that they've got highlighted are like, oh, this is a reason, when it probably isn't.
I mean, like, nobody gives a shit if he's hanging dong on OnlyFans. Like, nobody. I'm. If you can write a story, I don't care. This is what it always seems to come down to for me, right? If you can write a compelling story, whether or not I agree with the values that are in it or it challenges me, I'm interested. I am interested in something that's thought-provoking. Even if you have an OnlyFans, I don't care. Are you talented? I'm sure you're good. Like, see, and here's the thing, right? This is a normal thing that's pretty much been, I don't know, I don't want to say normalized, but like a lot of people have OnlyFans. I don't think that should bar them from being a writer. You're likely, if you're attractive, gonna make more money on OnlyFans than you are as a writer. Oh my god. Stop it, Tony. That's actually hilarious, though. That's actually hilarious.
But it's hilarious. It's funny to think that, like, the comic book X-Men nerds got an OnlyFans.
See, and see, Samuel always has really good information. He said there's no actual credible. This is what I mean. Like, this is why I didn't believe this shit to begin with. There's something more than a 2-year-old OnlyFans when this was announced like 2 years ago, right? Like, I feel like that's probably something they would have looked into more than a week before. Something happened. It wasn't because it was an OnlyFans. That's so silly.
Yeah. It does. Yeah. I'm trying right now even to look more into it.
She's like, I'm not Googling his OnlyFans right now. I'm not looking it up at all.
I am not seeing
I am not hitting subscribe. I am not putting in my credit card information. I am not. No, wait, what?
Incognito mode. on like Google, you can go incognito so that your search history and stuff isn't recorded.
So it doesn't show up. Yep, no, not doing that at all, guys.
Not at all. Hanging dong.
Oh my god, that's so funny. But yeah, like this seems like there's more of the story that's either gonna come out or not. Like, I also feel like if Robert's correct, right, and there was some abusive issues, then I think that'll eventually come out. If it's something that needs to remain private. I don't feel like that's our right to know, right? Like we shouldn't have all the information if it's going to put somebody in some sort of jeopardy, or and not everything needs to be public.
Yeah.
It's okay for people to have their own, lives a little bit. And I'm okay with that. But
If he's
like
gonna
I'm
put that
excited
out
for this show.
there, it's
What's that?
not like, I mean, if he's gonna put an OnlyFans or anything like that out there, that just wouldn't be a reason to fire the guy if he
No.
has other things, or if they don't like the landscape of his writing. I could see that more, because is it going on Disney?
Disney Plus, yeah.
And let's just talk about that quick kiss in Buzz Lightyear that people were up in arms about.
Oh my god.
And if he's an openly gay man who writes, more progressive things, to Disney just throws that hammer down. So I could see that being more of a thing. Or if there's allegations. Yeah. We just have to wait and see. We do want to know.
Like, we can judge the merit of the show though by the writers, and if this show ends up being really good, this is only going to backfire on them. Like, if they're one of their, was he a showrunner? Was he a lead writer? I don't know. It's only going to look really bad, because then they're going to lose this man. And I think that's a shame.
Yeah, you need good writers, because the problem is that there aren't good writers. So much you can tell is like AI made up stories and
oh my god, yeah,
long exposition. Like, I cannot wait to see Madam Web, because I know it's gonna be a female Morbius, and
I've heard it's so much worse though.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see. I watched Aquaman the other day. The second one. Gotta say, really liked it.
Really?
I actually really liked it. I thought Jason Momoa and Ocean Master, is that his name?
Yeah, Orm?
Yeah, thank you. They had a great freaking chemistry. They were really, really good. I liked it. It was like underwater buddy cop. And like, you could tell the problem was the tension with the Amber Heard stuff. And that really put a whole wrench into it. I could have watched it and had her talk and let it be that. I never was like, take her off the movie. This, it is what it is. Like, life goes on. People have to live. She was horrible. We can all agree. Yep. Well, mostly agree. And you could just the tension whenever she was there. It was so obvious, even in the movie. Like, she didn't talk.
I mean, they didn't have great chemistry to begin with, and then to throw a wrench into things. And I can see both sides of that situation sucking. Being Jason Momoa, knowing this is $1 billion movie, but because you have to contractually include this person, you're going to make less than half of that. That would kind of turn a lot of people off.
Yeah, exactly. And then I can also feel for, even though she was terrible and horrible,
right,
how it must feel being on a set that everybody hates you.
Oh my god!
Like,
I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah, first of all, I would never be that person that she is. I know she has issues and problems, and I hope she fucking gets over that. I would never do the things she did, so I don't think I could ever feel those things, like being on like the outs of everybody and being hated and having people throw and hurl death threats at you. I think it's just, I could just ignore her. I could just turn my brain off and be like, she doesn't exist. And but Aquaman 2 was actually really good. It was actually really funny. I think I did not get to see the end of it. Probably went outside to smoke a cigarette and paused it and never put it back on. But like, I was really engaged, actually.
That is awesome. See, and Gary has a point too. Like, you remember Aquaman before Jason Momoa, right? He was that blonde nerd that was like the uppity king and nobody really liked him. He was in the Justice League, but it was like
We
the
hate
dude that
him.
fucks fish, like him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Jason Momoa comes in and makes this character beloved.
Great. Oh, exactly. Just like exactly. Because he was just Aquaman was the butt of every joke. Like, what do we need him for? We're on land. That guy. We don't need
Right.
that guy.
Like, I even remember like Family Guy doing bits about it, like, don't come over here. Like, the guy's trying to mess with a girl and he's like, don't come over here by the water, you're gonna have a mess. Oh no. Like
Yes.
I remember all the jokes and then Jason Momoa comes in and kicks ass, and then to have
So
it
good.
taken away, that would be hard.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
No,
do
you
it.
should watch. You actually should watch it. The first like 10, 15 minutes aren't great, but when Orm comes in and it's them two, it was so good. I was surprised because I was like, maybe I'll turn this off, and I kept watching.
That's awesome. I need to see it. I really do. Gary says, kick Amber out. I would have watched it. Actually, no, I wouldn't. And I watched it DC after what happened to Cavill. I mean, I get it. Everyone has their line, but
Yeah.
I don't think I don't actually know necessarily that it was DC that did that to Cavill, or if it was Warner Brothers, or if it was The Rock, right? Because it was like,
It was
Henry
The Rock.
Cavill.
I'm telling you, it was The Rock.
I know, that's what everybody, like, he thought, and I was all behind his idea. It was very like Ryan Reynolds to me. Like, he had this passion project like Ryan did with Deadpool, with Black Adam, and I'm like, you know what? You've got passion. I love it. I love to see that kind of stuff. And then he tries to bring in like Henry Cavill, and he kind of uses him. Like, he more than kind of uses him. And that's where I'm like, you're fucking with, like, I feel bad for this dude. I didn't even like Man of Steel, but I can feel bad for the person. And you made me feel bad for the Superman I wanted to get rid of. Come on now.
Yeah. But if you like, I've liked all of them except for the freaking versus one there. But Cavill, if you close your eyes and think of what Superman is supposed to look like,
yes,
it's Cavill.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it is.
100%.
It is that
Cavill.
chiseled Adonis, like,
yes, beautiful man
and
with that hair and those eyes.
It wasn't even him, because he's a good actor and he looks the part and he played. It was the writing that did it for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was in all the like destruction and slow-mo and the Zack Snyder of it all, right? Like, Zack Snyder did a lot of really good things. He's got 300 and I enjoyed The Watchmen, but Man of Steel, that wasn't it for me.
There's still no real substance in his movies. There isn't. It's like
he thinks there
Michael
is,
Bay. He does. Oh, he does. Oh, he thinks he's got this. You are not Christopher Nolan. Sorry. Like, that's what he wants.
And they're very infantile in his takes on characters. Like, oh, you don't want your Batman to kill, you idiot. You're Batgod. Like, what? No, we just don't. Superheroes aren't. The one thing that I love about Batman is he didn't have to kill in order for him to get his point across, right? He wanted to be the best version of himself, and that fear and that hope worked twofold in Gotham. And if you can't understand that on the most basic level on how to craft a Batman character, like, he got the fear part down right, but he did not get the hope. And he did the same thing with Superman.
Yeah,
so
this too much into their
This is what Morrison said about the Batman stuff. Batman's decision not to kill his enemies not only separates the hero from the villains he fights, but rather it's an integral part of the character's psychology. Now, Batman puts himself in danger every night, but steadfastly refuses to murder is an essential element of the character's magnificent, horrendous, childlike psychosis. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He says, in a way, Bruce Wayne never really grew out of that childlike state, stuck forever in that little boy who lost his parents in Crime Alley. Like, I couldn't agree more. I do think, like, not everything Morrison, like, I love Morrison, but he's a little out there sometimes. I don't necessarily know if it's the childlike psychoses or if it's, I like the explanation of Thomas was a doctor, right?
Yeah.
The Hippocratic Oath tells you to do no harm. And that's what he grew up around. That's what he remembers of his father. So by him doing no harm, it's also in a way honoring the dad that he lost. I always thought that was a little bit better of an explanation.
Yeah.
But I do understand what he's saying.
Right. Right. And I think that his whole psychology is like an amalgamation of Thomas and Martha. You know?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
So I because Thomas sat back and was the doctor, I feel as though, Martha would be the one to be like challenge, certain things. I just think that, yeah, he just encompasses both of them, and then he lost them so young that, I understand the comparisons that Morrison makes, but I can disagree a little bit.
Yeah. Gary said Jason Momoa was no good Aquaman. He was just Jason Momoa, not Aquaman at all. The new 52 Aquaman was cool, but people are too ignorant to stop making fun and just give a character a chance. I mean, I feel like I could say that about you in Suicide Squad. I'm just saying. No, I get it. I get he played himself. And that's kind of why I compared it to the Ryan Reynolds aspect in a way, like the people playing themselves, The Rock, but like he did for a lot of people make Aquaman a character they would be interested in.
Oh yeah.
And I gotta respect that. If somebody starts liking it, yeah, I'm in. And then there's, what is this? Who the fuck is this? Aaron Fisher. I don't know who this is that represent. Grant Morrison is not a Batman expert or gate. Who is this? Wait, hold on. His little thing down here says, and especially everything DC related. No more relevant. He's Grant Morrison, but he's not a Batman expert, guys. Lord have mercy. Not a Batman expert. Nope. Grant Morrison is not. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's a big name Snyder called this. I mean, we all
on what makes a Batman expert.
Yeah, like I feel like he would qualify.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. Like, I do feel like we have our own versions of these characters. Like, we all come at them from our own perspective, and we also add on our own life experiences. But I still, and I like the Jason Todd's, the anti, heroes or anti-villains, whatever you want to call them. I like the characters like Punisher that aren't afraid to murder and stuff like that. But
Scott Pilgrim, I think that's why Scott Pilgrim, in my opinion, is so great, because he's not the hero. He just isn't. He's actually shit.
He's actually shit. I need to watch that.
Yeah, you do. 100%.
But like, I feel like there are certain aspects to characters you can't take away. And one of those aspects to Batman is his no-kill rule. One of those aspects to Superman is his, and I said it earlier, and I guess Superman more fits the bill, is he always wants to be the best version of himself, right? And he also inspires that in others. That's something you can't take away from that character, or you don't have that character anymore. Can we read the replies? I can't because X or whatever the fuck it's called nowadays, it doesn't allow you to read the replies. But it's just incredible to me that a Snyder cultist thinks Zack Snyder is a expert on Batman, but Grant Morrison, that's a stretch too far. That's wild.
Did I? I was looking to see if I created an account on X, but I don't have one.
They're so like every time like Robert will send me tweets that'll have like, oh, look at these, the replies are funny, and I'm like, can you screenshot them?
Yeah, you're like, I'm not.
Yeah, like just screenshot it. Yeah, it's I don't
like,
know if it's their
too much
policy or
debauchery.
like it used to be super easy to see. And I don't know why they changed those things. I don't know if it's something to do, I don't know. Elon Musk. Blame him. That works for me.
Yeah, I just try to stay away. Like, I know there's some good aspects to, like, I mean, Discord and Twitter and everything like that, X, whatever you want to call it, because, like, Suicide Squad Kills Justice League has a Discord, and you can see, you know, when people are having issues or bugs, and you can see other things like that. So I understand, like, those platforms are important for that, but they're also toxic.
Super toxic.
Yeah, it's hard for me to, like, step foot into the wild west of the internet.
Did you see the stuff about TikTok, though?
The ban?
Yeah.
It's come across my page, but my FYP is filled with Kate Middleton conspiracy theories right now.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I had no idea what that was. And I think
she is. Listen, I think she is holding out. So because William was having an affair and everybody knew about it, they actually had a hashtag called Prince of Pegging.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this was years ago. And his mistress, like, these blind items are coming out. I literally just think she is re-upping her contract in the monarchy. Like, that's how I feel. Like, she just is walking away and not saying anything and being like, see, people care. Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, maybe their marriage isn't great. Who knows? But, like, hope all is well with her. And yeah, that's filled my stuff. I've been reading the Britney book. Like, I'm engrossed in all this shit.
I love it how everybody's like, wait, Kate Middleton. Oh, you mean pegging? Let's talk about pegging.
The Prince of Pegging, yes. Villainous Queen. Go into incognito mode and then look that up. It is
That's
wild.
So funny.
It is wild.
I still see this, like, and I don't open up TikTok very often. I do every once in a while. I always forget about it, to be perfectly honest with you. But I do think it's funny that all these people are like, yeah, TikTok's gonna get banned, and I've like heard that one before. Like, change the record. I mean, no, it's not. It's gonna get, even if it does pass, it's gonna get sold. It'll be fine. Like, this isn't. Come on, guys. Can you imagine all of the freaking 20-year-olds without their TikTok? They'd infiltrate YouTube, and then we'd have a real problem.
Exactly.
It'd be like the Viners. Remember when the Viners came over?
Oh my gosh, yes. And some of them, you know, some of them have had lasting careers, yes, because freaking Danny was a Viner. And,
right? I seen he had a new video. I'm about to watch that later.
Yeah, I didn't get to. I started it and finished it. I was watching it last night. I freaking love him so much. But yeah, and a lot of the Viners haven't had success after Vine, and then it went into TikTok musically as it was, and then you got all these people. But I just think the fear is put into the wrong place with TikTok. The fear is not, in my opinion, about like the privacy in your phone. I know that's a big topic, but like I feel like the fear is people being able to come together, see the crazy stuff happening in the world, in different parts of the world, and people seeing what's really going on and what they don't want you to see, you know? Like it's one of those things where we're trying not to divide ourselves anymore, and I think TikTok is a good place to come together. And you know, government, the world, the politicians, they want division. They want us against each other.
Absolutely.
So.
Oh, absolutely. And I think there is like I like to go on to like they call it comic talk. It's so cringy, the name, but like you get like 60-second reviews of comics, and I'm like, hey, this book sounds interesting now. I'm gonna check it out. Like there's a lot of cool stuff over there that and one thing I absolutely love is the edits people can make. Like some people are so just
That's
using
so
CapCut.
great.
I'm like,
I know.
I like making edits. I want your talent. Come on now, you 17-year-old fuck. Teach me.
They do such a great job. They really do.
I love it. And it'll be like a Peacemaker trailer comes out and like 20 minutes later, I swear. Okay, maybe it's not quite that quick, but it's like by the end of the day, there's like 4 new Peacemaker edits I have to watch and check out. They're really cool.
Yeah. Those are fun though. Like Doc shows me all the like MK stuff and the things, you know, people are showing and all that. I just love that we can go into niche spaces like comic talk or book talk or, you know, crochet yarn talk, whatever the heck it
right?
is.
Everything.
Like, it's amazing. It's beautiful.
And then I get into lefty talk.
And then
like, exactly. I definitely get into lefty talk. And I'm like, what happened? No. They killed a black man. What? No, I'm just kidding. But like it definitely comes across my feed. Gary, it says it's just like saying I'm going to make fun out of Superman because he's too nice. So I'm going to make fun of him because he's different. Wait. I feel like I missed some context. Is that because they said Aquaman was a dick? Gary, it's okay. Aquaman was a dick. He was like that monarch fuck that you just don't like. Like, he's...
I've never gotten into his story, but I know certain people have gone hard for Aquaman. Like, I love the Harley Quinn show, and they kind of make fun of it, but everybody has a character that they kind of poke fun at, or like, exactly.
Oh, for sure.
He's such a Boy Scout, like, you know. So we love Aquaman. I think Jason Momoa just makes it really cool.
I do too, 100%. And then Gary said they do the same with Hawkeye. Yeah, you've got a point there. Hawkeye's definitely the butt of the jokes, like the Arrow guy. And what's weird about it too is they don't make fun of Green Arrow near as much as they make fun of Hawkeye.
I know.
Oh, he even says, crazy. And they joke about him using arrows, but they like Green Arrow and Batman only has gadgets. That's so funny. Yes, you're absolutely right. Green Arrow's cool, but Aquaman is not. Hawkeye is not. Make it make sense.
Right. Right. And Green Arrow, it's funny. Somebody had a their W2 said Queen Consulting, and all I could think of was Green Arrow. I was like, Oliver Queen.
Great. Right?
I need to see this Crow trailer.
I just seen Samuel put that, and I'm literally looking it up right now. Nice. I knew it was gonna drop.
I love the Crow. I do.
I love Bill Skarsgård, but those pictures were a little like, oof.
I didn't see anything.
Oh, you didn't see okay, good. So your mind is not tainted.
My mind is tainted, okay? Don't.
That's fair.
Not to this.
Look at this like ratio. People are already hating on it.
Wow. It's been in production for a long time. There's been issues with it, and because I remember years ago they've gone through like 3 or 4 different main actors.
Oh, have they?
Yes. I think, was it Momoa one? Hold on. Now I gotta look at the list.
Are we going to taint your mind warm, Lily? If we haven't done that already, you are safe. I promise.
But yeah, I know they've gone through a few people, and it's been taken.
What's that you liked about me?
I thought that you were quite brilliantly broken.
You feel like my person?
Holy booty alert.
You feel like
I
my
know,
person.
right? I got a new appreciation for
What's the worst thing
Skarsgård,
about
though.
She's
All
so
things.
pretty.
I shouldn't have seen any of it.
He's giving me daddy vibes.
Look at this. Look at this. Hold on. I gotta. What's his hair?
It's not
What?
at all. Yeah.
What?
It's a mullet and Triss is mad.
Why is this becoming a thing?
It has been ever since COVID. I'm so surprised. Like, ever since COVID, the mullet's been a thing. Like, coming strong. It's like,
And I don't like it.
I don't either.
Like, it's not cute. Like, I've even seen, like, Logan fucking Paul having a mullet. Like, it's not cute, guys. This is, no.
Okay, Bradley Cooper, Luke Evans, who I would live and die for, Jack Huston, and Jason Momoa were all previously cast as Eric Draven.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So this has been...
So production hell, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think the original Crow was the same way. And let's not forget the incident that happened. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, I like Bill Skarsgård. I like his brother too. He was in True Blood.
Oh,
really
all the
cool.
Skarsgårds. All
Yeah.
the Skarsgårds. Give them to me, please. They're great actors.
Right?
Like, they're good looking, but they are really good actors.
See, and I've never even, like, I know a lot of people know him for it and this kind of, like, I don't even give a shit about that. Like, he was in Hemlock Grove. Like, he was in some cool shit. Like, before, I guess maybe it was around the time of True Blood when his brother was in that. Like, there's some cool shit that he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, play.
Shelly! Please don't do that!
They always do this to me with music.
I know my
Oh,
heart
carry that
just
soap
like
to the
stunk.
leather.
Oh, so good.
But sometimes
At least
something
it's
so
not painted
bad
black.
happens that the soul cannot rest. Until you put the wrong things right.
Ozzy's voice was so good. Oh, Jesus.
You were given the power of a god.
I'm like almost on the verge of tears right now.
Wait, what'd you say? I missed that.
I'm like almost on the verge of tears, just like feeling the original and like everything. Oh my gosh. No, I think this is really good.
I think it's really, really good so far. And I didn't expect that.
But you're running out of time to save her.
God damn!
Oh,
Every single one of them.
And killed you.
Yeah, we did.
We have a problem. He came for us.
Very Joker.
First impulse.
right.
Anger.
Damn!
It's not anger. It's love.
Okay. We just
I waited to come.
What'd you say?
That car scene was so very Deadpool.
Is this
Wait.
the song? Is this the Post Malone song with? This is that song, right? I'm not crazy.
I don't know.
With Ozzy, I totally
You
is.
know that love promises only pain.
Look at the. Why does it look so good?
It does.
He looks huge.
You have no idea what hell awaits you. No, I do.
Shut up.
How many people have you loved?
I'll never be alone.
Okay, I can see why there's dislike to it. Oh my fucking god, though. I can't wait. I can see why there's dislike. It does seem like they've just put some tropes together.
Oh, yeah, I mean, but mullet aside, like, I'm kind of in.
Mullet aside.
Wow.
I would change his aesthetic, not so jokery.
Yes. Yeah.
100% he doesn't look like Crow. Doesn't matter. It's Skarsgård. He looks amazing, and I would take.
He looks
those
huge.
bullets
Like, did he
behind him.
buff up?
Oh, he definitely did. He looks amazing. It looks really good. There are some issues I have, but issues aside, fuck yeah.
I know. Wow. Okay, so you didn't see the pictures, but it was basically just him looking in the mirror, looking very Joker-esque. And everyone was kind of laughing at it like, this looks nothing like the Crow. What is this emo fuckboy doing? And then you see the trailer and you're like, the music's good. He looks good. She looks good. The love story's there. I'm in.
Yeah. I think it looks really, really great. I do have a problem with him not looking so Crowish, looking more Joker. But it's probably just because they wanted to highlight that it's Skarsgård.
I gotta look it up because I don't remember. He did not have that. Okay, so he did have that mouth thingy.
But not so he did, yes, and he was pale white and he had the long hair. Brandon Lee.
That was
sexy. He is just, that's so sad.
But he did. I didn't remember that mouth thing. Like it is similar-esque. Like they definitely modernized it for sure.
Yeah.
But that's not always a bad thing.
No. It looks compelling.
Wow. Brandon Lee. Who knew? Everyone knew. Everyone knew you were a looker. Everyone knew. Wow, I'm impressed.
He was the thing is he just was so great in that movie. And that was his acting debut. He was trying not to live off of his father's name and everything. And he did such a great job in encompassing it. And he was a bit of a obviously anti-hero, but very animated and all that type of stuff. So I'd love to see the new one and see how Skarsgård does with the character, because Brandon Lee was amazing.
Wow. I'm shockingly interested. I always try to remain a little apprehensive because I get into the music and into this and I'm like, it's gonna be so good, and then it ends up being not, but still. Gary says biggest disrespect was making him a druggie when the original Eric was anti-drugs, and the second disrespect was making him Eric. Should have been a different character. Looks like shit. Tell us how you really feel, Gary.
Right, exactly. That's again, modernizing a story. You don't want to do the Crow the exact same way,
right? You don't want to know
backlash.
Well, not only that, but you're gonna get I like the original Sin City and stuff like that, but you knew what was coming. There was no real creative liberties taken. There was nothing different, nothing to change the story or to make it your own. And I think that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Definitely. That's what, yeah.
It looks like we have another trailer. Holy shit.
I'm here for it.
The new Suicide Squad. My search results goes right to Kill the Justice League. A new Isekai trailer for the anime.
Mine too, because I'm always cheating.
Right, like I'm always trying to look up a build or look up something like, oh my god, I think I hate it already. So much stuff.
Oh no.
Okay, this is my mind going back to. I'm not the biggest anime fan, and I think that's where this is gonna come from.
Okay,
we're sending you the links. I got it. Thank you, by the way. Punk, thank you so much. Hey, Tristan. Hey, I can't say my own name. It's a problem. Tristan, staff, and chat got home from the gym 15 minutes ago. Well, that is awesome.
Yeah, you're always doing that stuff. Stop it.
Right? Making us all look bad by comparison. How dare you, Punk?
I got my snacks here. I ain't going to no gym.
Right? Oh, my God. I don't think my breathing could handle it. Okay. Oh, God. Here we go. You ready for that? Maybe it won't be cringe. Really no like English version of this?
I absolutely love subs. I'm just gonna say that right now.
I don't think there actually is. Okay. All right. I like dubs because I'm lazy.
I love hearing the Japanese language, and like when we would watch Berserk, one of our jokes is Ugatsu, because that's his name and that's how they say it, and it's amazing. And it just adds so many layers.
Like I feel like I watched so little of it, like the subs in general, that I can't get used to it. Yeah, I would prefer like there's a lot of really good animes, but I also want to be able to like look away from the TV and still understand what's going on.
I get that. I totally understand that. It took a little bit, I'm not the biggest anime fan, and it definitely took a little bit to get used to subs, but I am in the camp where I think subs are a little bit better just because I love hearing different languages and like
I totally get that.
It adds a lot to it for me.
I get that. I totally do.
Animes will come together. That's the vibe I'm kind of getting here, because that like princess lady, like they're in like a different
they go to a different world, but like also at the same time just felt like chaos for a second.
That is anime in
a nutshell. Yeah, that's fair.
That's just anime. Just what you're seeing is anime.
Yeah, that's fair. And like I get it, like, but there was so much happening all so quickly.
Yeah. I you know what? I loved it.
Gary says leave it to Japan to scrub a black character's hair, but they did keep him black, which is surprising. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
They did, yeah. I think it looked. I will definitely be checking that out.
Yeah, I will too when it comes to dub. Joker looks so weird.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
It's different.
It's different. That's the best way to. It's like I always love Harley Quinn. Let's be real here. I do, but that one will take a minute to grow on me for sure. Holy moly! All right, the death of media literacy. So. I love, and this is a newer channel that I've been watching a little bit, and it's just, so I want to actually share this so you guys can check it out, because it's a really good video. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but I want you guys to see it. It talks about the idea of bringing media literacy, but also bringing your personal perspective into things and not understanding what you're actually saying. Like, this has become a big topic because X-Men has been in the news because so many people were mad about Rogue's ass. It's wild to me, but like, also I get it. Everybody loves a good ass, but like, it's not that serious, guys. Like, we've got Babs.
They're all in the end, they're all stories being written.
Right, and the big thing about that's funny to see when it comes to the X-Men is this constant talking about, well, it wasn't originally about civil rights, so it wasn't for, the past 45 years or whatever. Yeah, it has been. It has been.
Research, people.
Like, they've covered so many topics and they're diving a lot, I know, as of late, into more queer topics, right? X-Men has always done... See, I can't use words like always because somebody's going to be like, nah, in the first 2 years, they didn't talk about politics. Right. No.
Yeah, but 2 years compared to how long it's run doesn't really, that's not much. They've always been on the, they don't get me started because I'm not like the biggest fan boy, but one thing I've known to always be true was X-Men was progressive. I'm not even going to say woke, progressive, putting things that really mattered into their comics.
Well, and that's another thing that they use for, like, they'll do the same thing with Batman. Well, Batman had a gun in 2 issues in 1942. Hey, okay. It doesn't mean he's the murderer. Like, yes. Wild. Okay. And Samuel is correct. This did, nope, that was the wrong comment. It started with the Starship Troopers thing. And I'll be the first to admit I don't know a bunch about Starship Troopers. Have you seen it?
Oh, no, I haven't, but I know that it is a politically charged satire.
Right, and it's about fascism, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it was a satire, but it did have real draws to stuff like, to my understanding, it wasn't just about killing big bugs. It was, fascism and imperialism taking over in a police state and stuff like that. And it's wild to me that people don't see those kind of things, but I've always liked to look at media and see what deeper meanings could be there. Now, there is stuff that you can turn your brain off on, but I have a hard time doing that, right? Like, I have a hard time turning my brain off. So I see it in a lot of things, which is a bad thing too. But also, we're not going to go through the opening, but we've got X-Men 97. No, talk.
Much of the trailer was received very positively because of the art style and the fact that they have so many people from the original cast coming back. There was a noticeable backlash from people like Tyrone Magnus saying that,
oh my God, the X-Men have gone woke.
Saying that the X-Men comics were never about diversity originally when they were conceived, and all of it was misattributed by woke activists, which is contradictory to the X-Men for the last 40 plus years. But that wasn't all. The game Helldivers 2 was released recently for the PlayStation 5 and for the PC, was a massive hit on all accounts. Big part about Helldivers is that it takes a lot of its inspiration from Starship Troopers. If you haven't seen the 90s Starship Troopers movie, the movie is a critique of fascism or United States imperialism or both. But that didn't stop multiple people from getting very, very angry that no, Starship Troopers is just a cool movie where they kill a bunch of bugs, and RoboCop is just about a robot cop, and The Crucible is just about the Salem witch trials, even though it feels really, really similar to what was going on with McCarthyism at the time. Oh, whoa. Oh.
And this is what I find so interesting is, like, a lot of what he's saying, I have been trying to say, and probably incorrectly, for a long time, because depending on how you were raised is how you're going to look at things. You may look at Starship Troopers and just go, okay, well, this is just a funny bug movie. Or you may have some sort of, background in government, or even just basically educated and understand what they were trying to say, while also being able to understand you can enjoy a funny satire.
Mm.
Have you had a chance to look at any of the Helldiver stuff?
I've just heard a lot of talk around it, but I haven't really looked at it.
I've heard it's really good.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely heard it's good. People love it. Like, at work, I was talking to somebody, a client that came in, and he was playing it, and he's like, even me as like a low level can just like kind of jump right into it and still like do what I have to do to be able to, play the game. And everyone's loving the crap out of it. That's great. Like, I don't think it's my cup of tea. I might probably look up some more things on it, but I don't know if I'm going to play it.
Yeah, and I think I like and a lot of people compare it to Suicide Squad. Even Samuel is right here. Lost in Malco Creek and Helldivers thanks to people playing Suicide Squad. Now, I mean, I get that it's similar concepts. I think me just enjoying DC characters more has a lot to do with it. But I was actually shocked. More shocking than anything with Helldivers 2 was the fact that it was $40, a brand new video game. That was incredible.
That is, yeah. And it's on everything.
I know, but no video games are $40. Like, that just doesn't happen.
Even Nintendo still charges $50 to $60 for their
old games.
Yeah, like it's probably different now, but I remember wanting to play Bayonetta like a few years back. Mm-hmm. Still, the first Bayonetta was like $50. I was like, "You've got to be kidding me."
Right?
I'm like, no, thank you. I'll pay for the monthly subscription and play Nintendo 64 games.
Yeah. Yep, I totally get it. Nintendo 64 rocked though.
I still have mine. I have every console, but I plugged the Wii in not long ago. I think the Wii is pretty underrated because I loved Wii. I loved Wii Fit. I've got the board. I loved Wii Sports. Like, just a huge fan.
I still call everything that is a Nintendo a Wii. So I know it's a Switch, but it's still going to be called a Wii until I rewire my brain. If it's a Nintendo, it's a Wii. It's a Wii.
I love the Wii. Wii.
It was always really cool. They had a lot of fun stuff on it too. Like even like the silly things like the bowling and the fitness and the like they had a lot of cool stuff.
I used to do yoga on it and you'd be on the balance board so it would it would make sure you're balanced correctly. Like I was fit when I was playing Wii and Wii Sports and stuff like that. And my favorite Zelda game is Skyward Sword because I liked that it wasn't just button presses, like you actually had the motion and it was just different. It was unique.
Do you remember, speaking of that, do you remember the Xbox Connect?
Yes.
Oh my god. It's like their first I don't know if it would be like more augmented reality or like virtual, but it was so fun. It was so stupid. You pet a freaking tiger and shit and like did river rapid stuff. It was so weird, but it was so fun.
It was, but it got tons of backlash because like they were trying to sell the Connect with it and like it was crazy and then you had to have it on like all the time and people were all freaked out about that.
Gary says the problem with you is Gary's coming in hot. The problem with you, Tristan, is you think political and woke are the same thing. If you look at when people say something it's woke, they mean when it feels forced. But what's the measurement of feeling forced, right? That I see a pride flag in Suicide Squad. That doesn't feel forced to me.
But it feels forced to other people.
Exactly. So there is no measurement here. So the only way to actually have some sort of like tool to tell what is woke in somebody's mind is politics, right? That's why I go back to that. But some people use woke for everything. In that is another thing, right? Most, and not you, Gary. I just mean in general the nerdy anti-SJW type YouTubers use it for literally everything. Like literally, like woke Marvel guy is fired. Woke sub explodes. Like woke daylight savings time. I don't fucking know. But literally, like I'm sure you could find that video somewhere.
Fucking woke. Oh my gosh, daylight saving time. That's good. Now I'm gonna put that as a as my bio. Daylight saving times is so woke.
It fucks with us. Come on, it does. Especially when you're so confused the next day what has happened to like the sun setting an hour later and you're sick and you're confused and you're like,
isn't Arizona
did I miss
split
something?
into two or some shit like that? Like Arizona is like one of the only states that doesn't do daylight saving time, but some part of Arizona does. How weird is that?
Yeah, that's super weird. That's super weird.
So
and Dennis says the forced excuse is BS, and that's where I agree, because we use that term. I could use that term for everything. Like I was being a bit like tongue in cheek yesterday when I was talking about the Eric July Yara trailer. Like it was Supergirl power, and I could say that was force. Like these are not actual measurements of anything that we can say is anything more than subjective. So I have to look at something more objective, and that's politics. And unfortunately, as SJW as this sounds, politics in some way or shape are in just about everything.
Yes.
Like, whether it's about war or good guys or bad guys, politics are there. Right?
And even if they aren't, somebody's gonna put them.
Yeah.
Like somebody's gonna shoehorn politics into something.
Like, and there's also like the allegories, right? Like you're talking about Starship Troopers specifically, that being an allegory for American imperialism, and even though it is a satire, there are real things in there. So I have to have some sort of real measurement, and no one's ever given me a real measurement as to what woke is. Woke has just become anything that either I disagree with or that's progressive.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't mind being challenged. I don't mind a story that doesn't necessarily agree with my worldview. I don't mind that a little bit of challenge to have somebody go, okay, well, this is different than you think. Woke is this channel. That is factual. We are all woke here. We all woke up this morning.
I woke up like this.
That's right. Oh my goodness. Okay. Why is this happening?
Why is this happening? Why are so many people unable to understand what's going on when things are so directly said, even in interviews with the creators? Why is it that when Jon Stewart says both candidates are old, Trump clearly has issues, and you should vote every single time, not just once, do people think he said Biden and Trump are the same? Don't vote in November. So let's talk about media literacy.
Because people hear what they want
this
to
topic,
hear.
I was trying to figure out a way to best kind of go into this. It became very clear deconstructing this head on is very tough because people are firmly planted in their positions. If you're right leaning or still watching this, or if I'm not.
Okay, so what he goes into here, and I'm not going to go into it too much, is a thing, something for being in this space, for knowing enough, like relatively literate in anime and manga, I had no idea that agenda piece was even a thing.
Yeah, me either.
Like, it's wild to me. Okay, I know people get into their characters. I know people love, but like when you take it to a level where you're like you can do it for fun and stuff like that, but when you take it to an emotional level, I feel like that explains so much of what we're dealing with right now. People are so heavily invested in their thing, in their bubble, they refuse to see outside of it.
Yeah.
And that's like when I get too emotional about something, that's when I know I gotta step away. Like
Yeah.
Because I'm defending something to that degree of getting angry. Besides, like Harley Quinn, because I'm gonna stand Harley Quinn. But like, if I am getting to a point where I'm like harassing people and not knowing basic understanding of storytelling, then we get an issue. And that's what he explains the One Piece and Sanji and Zoro thing. Yeah, I understand what agenda piece now is, but it is a good like way to look at things. Like,
measurement. Yeah.
it's a good measurement of how we're looking at not just One Piece.
Yeah.
We're looking at politics in nerdy fandoms in general, right?
Yeah.
You are one of two camps, and you don't get to be anything else. You either have to hate Sweet Baby Inc. and think they're the devil, or you're a shill, dumb, I don't know, corporate media, something or other.
A sheep.
A sheep, yeah.
Don't be a sheeple.
And this was what's funny. So Tony showed up earlier, and he put a community post on his channel, and it said, "Do you think Sweet Baby Inc. is guilty?" I was like, "Okay, of what?"
Right.
Putting their agendas or something, and I'm like, "But don't we all want our own agendas and things like?" These people, yeah, the Steam curator thing, obviously they're guilty of that. But we all, if we were making a video game, we would put our own ideals into it. Let's not even pretend like and I'm not saying we would do it in some nefarious way, right? But that's just how we live. What did you think about the whole Sweet Baby fiasco that happened?
Okay. I think it's not like it's too. I've read some things about it. Not that I don't get involved, but I try not to put my own self in it because I just feel like people want to get angry, especially right now, and that's what it is. Like, this game was so amazing, and then all of a sudden it's terrible. It's terrible, guys. All of a sudden it's terrible just because of, kind of something that doesn't. Yeah, my God. The space for comics and for video games is changing, and a lot of people don't like that. And I'm sorry for them. They got to take themselves out of the equation sometimes. You have to sometimes step back and be like, oh, I'm not the only person in the world.
Right, and I do feel like when you're, again, the SJW coming out in me, you're at a place of privilege, equality feels like oppression.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when you're starting to see equal voices in a sphere that's been predominantly dominated by white male voices, it's going to feel like oppression, even if it's just equality, right? And I have I've never had a problem with seeing different stories. I think we learn a lot through seeing other people's points of views, and like, I don't want to see the same story over and over again. But when it comes to Sweet Baby, it was actually funny because this has been coming up. They worked on Suicide Squad, right? So that means they work with WB, right? Follow my train of thought here for a second.
Okay.
Realmcast is a relatively known YouTube channel in the Mortal Kombat sphere. And about right before I got sick, so maybe 2.5 weeks ago, that one weird motherfucker, that Fate video, and he was like, I found the reason why Mortal Kombat 1 sucks, guys. Look on IMDb. There is it. Look, it says, guys, it says Sweet Baby Inc. worked on it. Mind you, IMDb can be publicly edited, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, of course, obviously proof, right? Nobody would think to go to the credits and realize that they're not in there. Or look at Sweet Baby's website. Right. Realize they're not in there. So Realmcast does this video. And I'm like, starting to feel better. So I'm like, all right, I'll listen to what they have to say. The whole time in the video, they talk about, like, as if Sweet Baby Inc. ruined Mortal Kombat 1. And I'm like, hold on a second. They're not in it. You literally say in your video they're not in the credits, but maybe because it was found on IMDb that it's on there. Like, he's like, well, it hasn't been disproven either. It doesn't have to. We live in America, right? Innocent until proven guilty. You don't have to disprove something for it to not be true, right? It would be wild that people actually like are so want to be mad about something so badly they reach and stretch in order to maybe edit something on IMDb or Wikipedia to make a video about it. Like, that's wild to me.
Right. No, it is. It's like, it bothers me. It bothers me that it's fakeness. It's all like when you watch videos and you know they're set up or they're fake or something like that. And then you just like get that feeling in the pit of your stomach. Like, how can you be like this? Like, how can you just walk around the world and just be like this? It just, it's crazy to me because Ragnarok, they were involved in Ragnarok. You're telling me that's some terrible wokest agenda?
Oh my God, like, Seth. Duh. Agrabah was black.
Not the Norse mythology, not some of the most progressive mythology out there.
It is wild. And the thing is, it's like, I've really never heard anyone that played Ragnarok get upset, like say anything but good thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I've heard people say, of course, like they didn't like the way Kratos was going and Okay. I think those are something you could be more attached to younger Kratos. I get it.
I am. I'm not the Teal'c fan, the guy who does it now. I think they really screwed over TC Carson, and I am a stan. Doesn't mean I don't really love the new ones.
I totally get it. Gary, thank you so much. The company knows what they are doing. And people are too busy to prove you wrong instead of listening. So if talking isn't working, then I guess we just have to tear these companies down then. But what is, okay. So are you pro censorship, Gary? You want to censor these companies? I don't understand what is so infuriating that you want to tear these companies down.
Yeah, I don't. And again, it's just everyone's subjective opinions.
Yeah, you're parroting what I've been saying for years. That is fair. And Michael's absolutely right. There was a video where an EA dev for Black Panther said that they hired a team of all Black people because they didn't want to deal with the microaggressions of white people. And I'm like,
that's
what?
Again, for rage. I swear it's all for rage. It makes me rageful thinking that it just seems like it's all for views and clicks and done in a way that's just like, oh, see what we're doing?
But it's also at the same time, like, you can't allow for bigoted opinions like that if you're trying to get rid of bigoted opinions in the first place, right? Like, like if you're mad that people are mad about a Black male lead saying, well, I'm not going to hire white people, it does not solve anything.
No, you're just playing. It's just a circle. It's just going round and round and round and round and round.
And this is what I mean. Like, I always say it's two sides of the same coin, but and not wanting, people of color or queer characters in the limelight is no different than not wanting, white people on your team. Exact same ideas, just different sides of the spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is wild to me. And I don't know why, like, I keep seeing Samuel saying people that say media literacy are dumb. Wait, hold on. Here it is. Is the term idiots use when people point out how awful their opinions are so they can pretend casual fans are just too numb. No. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is everybody, I think what it comes down to me is everybody, like, I'm going to come at a story. My perspective on a story is going to be different than what you take from a story. And that's okay. But we also have to understand the true meaning of something as stated by the developers. Like, do you want, it's kind of like death of the author situation.
Yeah.
Or, you can take your own from it. I just find it very easily entertaining, I guess is the way to put it, that everybody can cherry pick and craft their own narratives. Like, super easy. Just for clicks. And it's super boring.
Yeah. Well, it is to me like people nostalgia. And when these things are brought back, the people that are new to them can't just do like a couple, clicks of research and be like, oh, this character has always been this, or this character's always been that, or the core of the character matters, or the X-Men, or whatever the case may be. It's just like, if you're going to go into something, like, I always stop myself. I don't comment things, and this brings it back to like when something makes you mad. Like when I go and I'm going to comment something that might be on the mean side, that's when I nope out of something. That's when I'm like, okay, delete, not going to do it. I'm going to walk away from it, because so many people don't understand that we all have voices and we can use them. But I also will research something before I try to trash it.
See, I have the problem of I should nope out before then, but I don't nope out until after I've already written the comment. And I've already been an asshole. And then I'm like, damn it, why was I an unneeded asshole? Oh, wait, that's what I do. Like,
I stop myself on the internet, but not in real life. Like, I will say the asshole thing.
Like, there's so many times where I've left comments and I was like, that was kind of trolly. I probably shouldn't be mean to this person that I'm normally nice to, even though they're being a complete idiot right now. Like, I'm really, really bad about that. And I need to learn. I need to learn a little bit.
I save my bad comments for bad people. Like, the only time I've ever commented something, and it was never like very hateful or anything, but like Colleen Ballinger's situation, Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The people
that actually deserve it.
trapped. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness. It is actually, oddly enough, starting to storm here. So before I can hear it. It's starting to get a little crazy. So before it gets too bad, we're gonna nope out. There we go.
Okay. I love it.
I do love this topic. I do, and I could talk for so much longer, but I do have a feeling it'll cut my internet out here pretty quickly. So thank you, Steph.
Thank
you, everyone.
Glad
tomorrow, I think Hooded and I are doing some Suicide Squad. That should be super fun. And back to Drunk Box this weekend. And doing a birthday special for Hooded.
Ooh.
So we gotta have so much excuses to get drunk. We don't need excuses. Nice. Come on now.
No, we don't need excuses ever. I'll probably go upstairs in a bit and play Suicide Squad myself.
It's so fun, right?
I don't get any time when Dox gets home from work to play.
He steals that shit.
He really does. He's been playing MK too. Like, he's actually been playing both of them. And I'm like, I can't really do that. I get deep into something and I keep playing it. And like Tiny Tina's, even though we haven't played it, I was playing my second character, having so much fun. But it got grindy and I didn't like it.
I get it. And so did Suicide Squad, but I'm still having fun with it.
Me
It's
too.
so fun.
But it is. It's more on the fun grinding side, to be
Yes,
honest.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I hear thunder. So
Love y'all.
we will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Steph. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.